What's up, YouTube? As you see by the title, you already know what we're gonna be talking about, so let's get straight into it. So, at the time, this was like my senior year in high school, so sure, my living situation was all messed up when I was virgin because I couldn't get company over because my granddad stayed with us before he passed, and he was in the crib and he was in the living room, so he took a majority of the space and he needed like assistance and help and all that. So he used to get help from my mom's and she used to take care of him. But I couldn't get no company over all the way from I think like sophomore year all the way to senior year. But the senior year, that's when I think that's when my granddad passed. So you know, I got more space in the crib and shit. Rest in peace. But it was like the time where all the singers used to go in the auditorium, and they used to go and have their meetings and been speaking to each other. Well, not each other. Well, yeah, a lot of us were speaking to each other about graduating and shit, and what we gonna do next, and hearing what the teacher's saying, like step up if this, that, and the third. You know, I guess like niggas doing their payments and all that. So that's what was going on. So at the time, I was in this group called BOSS, which means Building on Struggles and Success. And they helped me get a group. I mean, not a group, but a job. They helped me fill out a resume, and then I filled out a resume. So I'm like, cool. I filled out a resume, and then I sent it to this job, and then I started working at this job and shit, you know. So I'm like, all right, cool. We in that bitch. I was super nervous. I was like super nervous, but I was excited because I get to make my own food. So I'm making my own food or whatnot at the restaurant. And it's real fast paced. I'm getting cursed at and everything. Like shit was hectic, but it wasn't that bad because I was getting paid a lot of money at the time. So this girl, she comes up and sits. She sits like in front of me, and she was a badass light-skinned female who I seen. Like I was seeing her jogging, and like when we was outside for gym and we was playing basketball. I'm not a good hooper. I'm not a good hooper at all. I know how to do the back of the leg and just pull a shot, but that's it. So we hooping or whatever. I'm kind of sucky, so I'm kind of standing off from all them hooping. I'm just watching everybody else on the sidelines majority of the time. I'm just in and out of the sidelines on the court. So I see this one girl, she jogging and shit. She got on these nice ass shorts, right? They all black and they go up to her thighs. And she had this raw ass shirt. And it wasn't raw, I'm just over exaggerating because how good she looked, because she got curly hair. So that's when I seen her. And I'm like, damn, and niggas at the course like, damn, when you gonna let me fuck? They started saying her name and shit. And then she just laughed it off and kept on running. I'm like, damn, she cold, man. I gotta get that one day. In my head, I'm like, damn, I gotta get with that one day. But time go by and I'm like, oh, well, forget about it, because I stopped seeing her eventually. But then I seen her this time when we in the auditorium and everybody speaking to each other. So I'm just chilling. I'm chilling. She started talking to me like, yeah, this shit's kind of whack. And I'm like, yeah, this shit is kind of whack. Motherfuckers just all in this bitch grouped up. We just getting ready to leave this motherfucker. And she like, yeah, on some shit. And she like, we get into this conversation like about what we gonna be doing after high school and shit. And I told her, I'm like, I got a job. So she finds out that I got a job and shit, and she's like, oh, that's real cool, that's real dope type shit. I'm like, yeah, niggas got a job. I ain't really fucking with it like that though. So she knowing I got a job. She fucking with me on some shit like that. So it's like cool. I didn't get her number or nothing. But we just exchanged a couple words, and I made her laugh a couple times about little silly shit like, look at this motherfucker right here type shit. Look how goofy his ass look. Shit like that, you know. I don't know what type of game I was playing at the time. I was just, I don't know. I was just at it. But yeah, I'm just being that type of guy. The classical a-hole type shit, you know. That's why I normally be at. I'm a classical a-hole. That's why I'm always at that type of personality. Like, it's just something that I'm just normally just be at. I make motherfuckers laugh and shit, and I don't even be trying. I just really be speaking my mind on some shit, like, for real. So we go to the scene. I mean, the graduation. Graduation happened. Motherfuckers across the stage. This, that, and the third. We all out on the main street now, downtown in the go. If you know, you know. So I got my locks done. That time I had longer locks. I cut my locks. My locks came all the way down to like right here. So I had them styled up and whatnot, and they was on my head. I forgot it was like I think it was like lobster tails. I think I had lobster tails, and it was lobsters going back, and then there was free formed all at the end of the lobster tails. So it was hanging on me. Niggas feeling fresh. Fresh, get that fresh look, like pose for the camera. Pose for the camera. I don't know, that little shit. I ain't posing so much, but I posed for my homies and shit. I was taking flicks, and there was a couple girls too I used to hang with. Nowadays, I ain't gonna even talk about that. I'll talk about that in another later video, because that shit is crazy. That shit is too crazy. I ain't gonna lie, but so I see that I didn't see her, but my older brother, he sees her, and he like, who's that girl staring at you? She keep on, I think she pointing at you. I'm like, who? I turned around, I look, I'm like, who? And then I see it's her. I'm like, oh yeah, I know her. This is girl who I've been talking to. He's like, go ahead, get on that, get on her number or something. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I go to her, I'm talking to her, I'm like, hey, let me get your number or something. And then she's like, all right. She gave me her Snapchat, she gave me her number. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I gave her a hug, and then her sister was like, y'all look good together. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in there. Once the sister said something, I'm like, once Blood say something, then you know it's rocking then, for real, because you know, blood is thicker than water now. And if she know, then everybody knows. So I had to let them know. Some way, somehow. So later on, it's like through the months and shit, I'm working and shit. Cool. So I'm like, I wait till it's a good weather outside, so it's like summertime and shit. So it's hot. So I'm like, dang, it's hot. It's perfect. So I call up my mans. Ring up my mans. I'm like, yo, I need like a tray 5 or something to not to do anything. I don't know. I was gonna explain myself, like I was gonna explain what my situation was. But I'm like, yeah, I need like a tray 5 or something. He like, all right, bet. So he pulled up on me. You know, he got wheels and shit after high school and shit. So he got wheels. So he served me off a nice little tennis bracket, little tennis ball. So I'm like, cool, I get it. I'm like, all right, bet. So I go to the store. I go to this one store that don't be tripping about age and shit. They don't be tripping about the ages and shit. They be letting shit slide. So I'm like, all right, bet. I go there, get the Dutchos. Cool. I go back to the crib. I hit her up later that day. And she's like, all right, cool. So the next day, like, we talking about Lincoln. Then I'm like, all right, bet. So she said she down at this place. I think she was down by a train or something. Like, she was on the upper platform where everybody be at. So or they can sit down and it'd be like it's like a water, this fountain of water just gushing out and everything and shit. You know, it's real nice and shit. So I'm like, all right, cool. I pops out with a tank top. I pop out with a tank top and a headband. You know, I got my scarf right now, but at the time I was rocking a headband like another scarf. It was a red scarf. So, but I had it like these. I had that motherfucker like these, like on my head like these, and then my locks in the back. So I was like these at the time. So I was like that. So I go out and I had on some jeans with a tank top and some Jordans. So, and it wasn't a bummy fit. I was fresh. I ain't gonna lie, I was fresh because I had the red on red, the red headband with some red shoes and some jeans. So I forgot what Jordans they was, but I think they was some retros. I mean, I know they was some retros. So I go down there. I walk down there because it wasn't that far from the crib. It's a little distance, but it wasn't that far. And I had the pack on me. I had that sack on me. I had that sack on me. Yeah, so I had that sack on me. And so now I'm going down there. I see her, she had this yellow dress on, like it was a dress and it come down and then at the waist it get real like fluffy, like it get real fluffy like at the waist. So it's like some, you know, some space from the legs and shit that she had on. You know, it was kind of tight up top and it was real fitting up top. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we go to Buffalo Wild Wings. And we in there, and I'm like, cool. So I'm like, all right, I'll pay for it. I'm like, I'll pay for it. I'm geeked. I'm in that bitch. It's cold. It's cold, man. It's cold. I got the tank top on. I'm like, oh, man, I can't do it. I got to be moving around and shit. I can't be chitter-shouting like, it's cold and shit. And I'm kind of nervous. I'm nervous than a motherfucker. So we sit down. We like this. Sitting down. She on one side, I'm on the other side. I'm like, yeah, I got you. I'll pay for the meal. I ain't gonna let you go out like that. You know, shit like that, saying shit like that. So she like, okay, that's what's up. And then I'm like, yeah, talking about other shit. We talking about, I was like, you watch sports? And then cause the sports shit was on, she was like, nah, I don't really fuck with the sports. I was like, shit, me neither. I don't really be fucking with that shit either. I ain't gonna lie. And we having a little small talk. So the wings come. We eating the wings. I'm getting the wing and shit. I'm trying to make sure I don't mess up my shirt on. Making that bitch go like that. Scrubbing. I'm getting my grub on. So finished the wings after a while. We eating real good for a while. That shit go by fast. So I'm like, you wanna, so after the date, I'm like, we walking and shit, we talking and shit. So we going back to the train station. But I was like, you wanna go back to my crib? It ain't too far from here. And she was like, oh, sure, yeah, let's go. So I'm like, all right, bet, we can smoke and shit. And she was like, all right, bet, for sure. No, first I didn't even say that, I'm lying. I asked her if she want to smoke. I was like, you want to go smoke? We can smoke by my crib and shit. And she was like, yeah. I was like, it's not that far from here. Let's go. She was like, okay, bet, let's go. So she going. I ain't gonna lie. She rocking and I'm rolling. That's how it's going. I'm rolling, busting. Somebody pass me a water or something, busting. Somebody pass me a water or something, rolling. Oh snap, that's how it was going, for real, man, for real. So we run into this, as we pass by the train place, we run into this old man, And he was like, man, y'all look real good together. Man, just hit me out, young schools. Let's just hit me out. Here, all I gotta talk about. He getting this long ass conversation and shit. So I ain't gonna lie. I wanted to cut it off and be the man to cut it off and be like, we got places to go, so we'll hit another time. But she was so into it. Like, she seemed like she was so into it. She was smiling and shit, listening to him. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to cut it off. So I let the man talk and shit. He talking his ass off. So, I'm just excited that I'm finna bring it to him, get icy. Because at the time, I didn't smoke. Like, I only smoked like 2 or 3 times. I think it was like, no, I smoked more than that, like 5 times. 8 times max that I smoked weed. That's max, but it was way less than 8, so it was like 5 times. And that was like in my senior year. I started smoking my senior year. So, going out with the guys and going to different parts of people, apartments and shit, icy. So that's what that was like. Man, I ain't gonna lie. So we having a conversation. That shit bypassed. We let that shit go. I'm like, dang, I was gonna stop, but it seemed like you was into it. She's like, no, I was waiting on you to make it, have him stop talking. I was like, oh shit, I didn't know. So I took an L down. That was my first L, fucking with her. First L. That shit wasn't good. So I'm like, all right, so nigga gotta man up. Gotta up their chest up, man. Gotta up your chest up and drop your nuts a little bit, man. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm like a little steady with it. I'm like, okay, cool. I gotta pull some shit off, man. But this gas gonna have us flowing. So we get by, we take the walk. So we get by this place. So by the buildings, it's like where I'm at with the buildings. It's like the buildings here, the front right here, the back right here, and the sides. So I'm at the sides right now. So we at the sides and we going to the back. So through the back, it's another platform where all the motherfuckers who got money, like the middle class motherfuckers, be at. And this is where the river be at, and there's boats. So we go down there, we go down the stairs. It's like you walk past that shit and it's like a house. It's all circled off, and then you get the straight distance right here, and you guys go down the stairs. You go down, you walk. We walking down the stairs, dude walking down the stairs, and we see this big ass river. The motherfuckers can sit down. You see the spot where you can sit down there. So I'm like, oh, this perfect date. So I sit down and shit. So I'm like, cool. So I pulled out the Dutchio, I pulled out the Gasio. So you know what I be on. So I'm breaking that shit down. I'm getting real grubby with that motherfucker. First I break down the Dutch, get that shit, wipe that shit out, make sure that motherfucker not cracking or nothing. Make sure that motherfucker fresh, and that motherfucker was fresh that day. It was fresh, cause I remember how hard I was hitting that mother. And I'm breaking down the gas. I'm breaking that shit down. And let me know if I should do videos like that, breaking down some gas, getting icy and shit, man. Let me know something. Getting high. So I'm breaking it down, putting it down, I'm talking to her. I'm like, yeah, this shit gonna get us right. I'm still talking to her throughout the whole time because I didn't want to make sure there was no miscommunication when we change up. I'm like, when the last time you smoked? Like them type of conversations, like when the last time you smoked and shit like that. Like you smoke with your friends, or what they be doing type shit. Like having conversations like that, having her laugh and shit, having her remember shit. You know, having her remember shit in her mind, smile and laugh and react to what the fuck I'm saying too, so we can still be having that exchange. So I roll that motherfucker. I'm licking that motherfucker like I'm gonna be licking something else tonight. I mean today, not tonight, cause it ain't no nighttime. It's still bright. The sun out, sun beaming. It's hot. I'm steaming. So I roll that motherfucker up, and this point I pearled that bitch. So when I pearled that bitch, oh my goodness, that motherfucker was hitting on multiple levels. So I flamed up. I got the lighter too, I forgot to say I bought the lighter too at the stove. So I remember this shit like it was yesterday because I remember this moment. So I flame up. I hit the blunt a couple times. I hit it like 3 times. I was fried. Not fried. I didn't get fried yet, but I was floating. That's when I was floating. I was like, oh shit, everything started whimpering real slow, like the breeze started feeling slow and shit. So I passed it to her. She getting icy. She hit it a couple times. She know what she doing. I'm checking her, seeing she know what she doing. She know how to get high. So I'm like, all right, bet. So we hitting that bitch back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Time go by fast. Oh my goodness, I'm so fried. I'm like, dang, I don't even get high. I'm so nervous. I start thinking in my head like, dang, I don't even get high. I'm so nervous. I'm nervous. I get hot, nervous. I'm like, all right. So I'm like, you wanna go to my crib and shit? And she was like, sure. After the whole conversation, getting high and shit, I'm like, you trying to go to my crib? So that's how I get comfortable with her. She was like, all right, yeah. So I'm like, all right, bet. I'm like, all right, bet. So we go. I'm like, okay. I just said okay, but I didn't say all right, bet. I just said okay. Playing that shit off, but I'm like, damn, I gotta loosen up. So I'm nervous. I'm so fried. I'm like, dang, my mom's better not be in the crib or none of that. I gotta have free slide. I'm risking it all. My heart racing. I feel like it's tentacles all over my body or some shit, or some like feathers or some shit all over my body and shit. Just get me all shaky and nervous and shit, like something touching like a frequency wave or some shit, just staticky all over my body like electric or some shit. So I'm like, oh, I'm kind of that nervous. So all right, so we get in the crib. It's a little small apartment too. So once you go in, my mom's got a lot of her declaration and her stuff and her, like her like stands and shit, like stands where you put books on and shit like that. So when you go in, it's kind of tight when you're going through the hallway. So we go in and I say, just take a right. You take a sharp right. You go in, you take a sharp right, and then you take a sharp left, and that's my room. I'm like, all right, so we in here. So in the room, and we chilling on the bed, the magical bed. That magical bed, boy. At the time, it was like a twin size. It was a twin size bed, so that motherfucker wasn't that big, but it was a big twin size bed when you can get 2 people on that mug. So I had like the little twin size Z going on. Used to sleeping by myself and shit. I never thought about getting beds for somebody else too, because I'm never thinking about that shit. So it is what it is on some shit. And like nowadays, I just bought a twin size now. Niggas, it's a whole journey for me. I explain. I got a whole journey going on. But yeah, it's gonna like through the years, it's gonna play out. On my years, I'm gonna explain like what my lifestyle from here on out is, and how it was and how it's going. Cause it's a lot of rocky roads. But back to the story though. So she's sitting on the bed and we high. So I'm like, yeah, I'm high as hell, you know, this, that, and the third. I'm saying how high I am and how I'm just like feeling decent. And she's like, yeah, okay. And then I'm like, and I started asking her, like, she play fight? I'm like, you ever play fight with people and shit? She like, she not explaining it well and shit. So I'm like, I'm talking to her, but I changed the subject again. But then I started staying on the same subject. And I was like, so you do type shit. And then so then I came out, I was like, I started feeling on her leg. I'm like, I say, your skin turn red, like if somebody was to hit it, or like squeeze your leg a little bit, it'll turn super red. And I started hitting her leg, I started squeezing that motherfucker, I started hitting her leg and shit. And then her shit started, I didn't see her shit turn red, cause she was real light skinned. And so then she started, once she heard me say that shit, she just grabbed me and kissed me. she grabbed me and started kissing me down. I started kissing her back. I started getting into it. I'm on some shit. Man, it was getting hectic, boy. I mean, real hectic. So we started kissing and shit. And man, it was something else. It was getting wild. Like, she started getting to it. She started, I'm like, just kissing her, grabbing all on her, and shit. She started taking off her clothes and shit. She ain't taking off fast. She taking off at a decent rate. I'm taking off my shit at a decent rate. so I'm real putting my shit out. I put my shit out and then I'm fucking with her. So she like, I got her bend over. I told her to bend over and shit. She bent over, so I'm getting my dick hard. I'm just rubbing my dick on my private part. I'm rubbing my private part on her. So I rub my private part on her. Then like, it's cool and all. I'm trying to get my stuff to get throttled, get throttled up real strong like Arm & Hammer. I'm trying to get an Arm & Hammer. So it happened. So I'm like, cool. I throw on the condoms. I don't know if I can say that, but I don't give a fuck. This real authentic shit right here, man. Big ape shit, big ape status. So I'm like, cool. I throw that motherfucker on, and I'm putting it in. So as I put it in, the first the tip start going in, and as soon as the tip going in, I bust. I bust. I bust. So that's what happened then, man. But that's not the end of the story. So what I did was I took off the condom and I put on another condom, and then I told her to bring her head, and then she brought her head, and then that's when head began to spit, and then it came out like red, then it came out like roses, then it came out and it froze it. So and then I'm like, cool, and it's frozen, so it's up and it's stuck. So then when that motherfucker gets stuck, I'm like, cool. So then she get on top of that motherfucker. So then, and then after that, then no. She get on her back actually. I'm like, all right. I said lay down. And I told her lay down, and then she laid down, and then that's when I got on top and stuff, and I did my thing. But when I did, I was going crazy. I was like, I was going in like these. Like, what's my second time? I ain't never experienced this again. This is a super booster. So I'm going in, and all you hear is yells and moans and all that loud freaky shit, man. It was real freaky in that motherfucker. It got real loud. The neighbors know they don't know my name, but shit, they know I was getting busy. So yeah, so I finished the job right. Then I was like, some other shit, like I could have did some other shit to you. She's like, oh, okay, like for sure, I know you could have. And then she just left out, and I was just like, dang. And I just hopped on the video game, and I told all my guys, I'm like, man, niggas I played a game with, I'm like, nigga, I just lost my virginity. So that's the end of the story of how I lost my virginity. Subscribe, man, like the channel or something.